Hello, yogis. Welcome back. So it's a cold and dark and rainy day here in Maine today, and I want to talk about the rising and falling emotional states that I've been experiencing, and I've heard some of my friends are also experiencing. So one day is just pretty easy and quiet and simple, and your bread's coming out well, or whatever you're working on, and the next day can feel full of fear and anxiety. And so I want to do a class working on releasing fear and anxiety from the body. So let's find a comfortable seated position to begin. Grounding nice and evenly through the sits bones. Taking the hands lightly to the knees. As always, you can be up on a block if that suits you. I have a blanket under my seat. You can be just cross-legged on the floor. You can sit back to the heels. As you like, just coming into your breath. Allow the breath to flow as freely as possible through your body. Allow the breath to fill into the back, especially the mid-back. Allow the lungs to gently expand to capacity. So we root through our quiet seat. We rise gently through the crown. We scan now through the body, from the crown, down through the head, the neck, the shoulders, the chest and back. Just noticing our body, its state, where we hold. Noticing if you feel anxiety or fear in your body, and if you do, where does it tend to manifest? Commonly our jaws, our shoulders, around the eyes, the chest, the hips. What is it for you? So allowing first an awareness and inviting some breath to these places. And with an exhale, gently beginning to release. Just that invitation. Let's take 2 more breaths here like this. And then inhale, we'll pull the hands up overhead. Reach up through the fingertips, take a look to the thumbs and stretch. And exhale, pulling the hands down toward the heart. And a deep breath into Om. Releasing the hands back down to the knees. So if you're up on a block, you may want to move aside for now. A blanket will probably be fine. We're going to do some different rotations to start to move some stuckness in the body, potential stuckness. So we're going to start with one that I've done a fair amount in these online classes. We're going to imagine a beam of light from the tip of the nose on the front wall and drawing some nice slow circles. So this brings a really, in most cases, gentle release to the back of the neck. Gives you an opportunity. You probably have a better chance than a full neck rotation of being able physically to rotate through. So just really consciously present and smooth. And then the other direction. Breathing nice and slowly and deeply. Imagine these big, even circles on the front wall. Notice where you want to rush, slow it down. We're just going to bring the neck now back to center. If this is appropriate to your neck, we'll imagine a beam of light from the center of the crown rising straight up to the sky and start to draw some circles on the ceiling. So if you have a lot of neck tension, start really small. And if you reach a point where you're just like, not going past there, just take a breath and pause. If you can, we're going to slowly move through the tension. So we keep the length in the spine, the shoulders are relaxed, and careful not to take the head too far back. Don't want to compress the vertebrae of the neck. We'll wind this one nice and slow back to center. And then the other direction, opposite direction. And just slightly slower than you want to move. Ooh, I've got a little tension in my neck today. We'll come back to center, bring it back up. Let's roll out the shoulders a little bit, so just some gentle circles back. Be soft. Welcome space. Maybe one more larger circle coming all the way up toward the ears, and then drop the shoulders gently down. Now we're going to imagine that the heart is leading us in some small circles. So we're going to start rotating. Follow your heart. So we come into a very gentle rounding of the shoulders as the heart comes back, and then a lifting of the chest as the heart comes forward. And let this be your dance. Opening into the body as it feels good to you. Moving through any tension. And we'll reverse directions. Back the other way. Nice and slow. Getting into any stuck space. Fluid motion. Let it roll all the way back to center. And now we're going to move from our hips. So this is going to be, in a lot of cases, a much larger motion. So I'm going to start kind of small, just give you the idea. So rounding a little bit more into the low back now. And the shoulders can be involved. And you can bring the head down low here. So you get into the low back, you can roll your shoulders. I love all of the variations that I've seen in classes. The only thing you want to keep consistent, with your, well, not neighbors right now, with anyone else doing this, is that, it's snowing outside. The only thing you want to keep consistent is that it's as smooth as possible. So let's roll back to center and reverse directions. Your time, your dance. If you have tension in your shoulders, you can get a shoulder roll in there. You can get some side body opening. You can even sweep your arm around with you. Play with your arms. And we're just gonna, however you're moving, gently find your way back to center. Let's move our mats, don't move your mat. Move your blocks away, or your blankets away now for sure if you're using them. We'll come into a table position. Knees under the hips, wrist creases under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, middle fingers point forward. Shoulders release down the back as you inhale, lift to the heart. Take the gaze up to the sky and exhale, drop the head down and press evenly into all of your knuckles, and then inhale and lift. Grow to your open heart, exhale, release. Inhale and lift. Exhale, release. Let's find center. We're going to take the left knee down and the right toes back, wiggle the toes out, circle the ankle. And let's take a few little pulses of the heel up toward the sky, waking up the hip. The shoulders relax away from the ears. Keep a softness through the elbows. We'll turn the pad of the right foot up toward the sky and give some gentle kicks. We'll lift now the heel toward the crown. So this can be a very small lift. And then an exhale, rounding the knee in toward the nose and bow. Inhale, pull it back, extend and rise. Exhale and bow. Gentle, gentle as you warm up. One more time. Inhale and hold. Now we're going to sweep the left hand forward and around. See if you can catch those right toes. See if you can lift up into your heart, a wonderful heart opener if possible. If not, just work the fingers toward the back wall. We'll press into the foot, grow to your edge. One more deep inhale and gently release it back down. Let's sit to child's pose. Take the tail back toward the heels, melt the brow down toward the floor, release. Let it all go. Melt to the floor. One more deep breath. And we'll roll back up into the heart. Take the left toes straight back. And we'll pulse that heel up toward the sky. Shoulders relaxed. Even weight through the hands. Gently working the glute, warming up the hip, and then we'll take the pad of the left foot up toward the sky and some little kicks. And then we'll lift heel toward the crown, crown toward the heel, and round, and then exhale, knee toward the nose. Inhale, lengthen. And open. Exhale. And tuck. Last time, nice and smooth. Lift that heel. We'll take the right hand forward, sweep it back. So either just reaching the fingers toward the back wall, or maybe you catch the toes. Woo! Give a little kick back. A chest opener. A back bend. Deep breath in. And release. Again, we're going to come all the way back. Child's pose, brow to the floor. If bringing your hips all the way back to your heels doesn't work for your body, be in a happy puppy with the hips over the knees. And down. We'll take one more full body breath here, child's pose. And then stretch forward through the fingertips. We'll rock up into the heart. Elbows hug the sides as we dive all the way down and then peel to a gentle cobra. So maybe you're low down toward the mat. Maybe you can come up a little bit higher. Be gentle. Reach back through the toes as you drop the shoulders, lift to the heart, and then hips to heels. Child's pose. Inhale, rise, and dive, peeling up to cobra. One more time. We'll shift the hips back and bow. Inhale, rise, dive, and lift. Let's tuck the toes under. If possible, float the hips straight back. Downward dog, spreading the fingers, spreading the toes. Draw the thighs toward the back wall. Quiet elbows. Relax the head. Nice and open across the shoulders and upper back. So you're going to hold that for 2 breaths while I take my socks off. Feel your points of contact connect to the earth. So maybe you haven't worked all the fear out of your body just yet. Bring breath in through that tension. Exhale to release. As this practice goes on, we'll roll the heart forward, plank position. Drop the shoulders down the back, hug the navel in gently. Reach back through the inner heels, forward through the center of the crown. We're going to rock forward into the heart.
Bend at the elbows if possible. A full breath here, chaturanga. And then all the way down, reaching back through the toes, peeling cobra. Tuck the toes and lift. Feel all of your knuckles, press the mat away. Down dog and breathe. So rock the heart forward, plank position, and lengthen. This time we'll take the right toes up off of the mat. Deep, powerful breath, taking the toes straight back up, a three-legged dog, and breathe. Lifting into the right heel. Stretch the back of the left leg. We'll rock forward again, floating those right toes hard all the way forward. If possible, you can use your left knee or hover one breath all the way down. Peeling cobra pose. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward dog. We'll get off these wrists in a moment. Let's come forward. Hovering the left toes. Find length. Even weight through the hands. Take the left toes up and back. Stretching open the back of the right leg. Lift through the left heel. Find your edge. We'll rock forward. Plank position. Shift into the heart. All the way down. Elbows in and release. Pulling up. Cobra pose. Rolling back. Child's pose. Let's rest. Let's take the fingertips to the floor like this. Give a gentle press. The brow comes down. And breathe. And we'll shift across the brow. Let's come all the way forward through the fingers. You're gonna rock up into table, take the knees together and sit back to the heels for a moment. Interlacing the fingers, elbows come to touch, and we're gonna release the wrists. Show a couple of wrist releases now that we've done a good deal of wrist work. And then reversing directions if possible. Making these figure eights with the hands. So the reverse is usually a little tricky at first, but you'll get the hang of it. Shake them out, very gentle. This is real yoga. And then we're gonna come up, palms down, tucking the toes. And let's just walk the hands back to the feet. And let yourself hang over the legs, release. Let the back of the head and neck go, like your head doesn't belong to you and the facial muscles completely release. Feel the eyes just sink toward the top of your head. Grounding evenly through the heels, so shift the weight back just slightly. And then taking a little rock side to side. We'll roll our way up to stand. We'll come back to the center and we'll float the hands up overhead. Taking the palms into face. Shoulders release. Lifting through the crown. And then length through the spine, reaching through the fingertips, hug the navel in slightly. We'll come all the way down and release over the legs. And then roll up to rise. One vertebrae at a time. Feel the spine stack, floating the hands up. This time a slight back bend, grow to your heart, and then length through the spine. We'll come all the way down, stretching long. Let's catch opposite elbows. Feel the weight, pull your shoulders down toward the floor. And then we'll roll up to stand, pulling the elbows up overhead. Softness through your knees, and then taking the left hand down the back and the right hand pulling the left elbow over to the right side of the body. And release. Other side, the right hand down the back. Left hand pulls that right elbow over. Opening Bring the shoulders. Take the palms now out to face the side walls. Feel that stretch, that strain all the way up through the fingertips. Release your computer hands. Symmetry through the body. One more deep breath in. And we'll float the hands back up overhead and sink into our chair. Hug the navel in. I say if you can smile in chair, you're doing pretty well. Feel that strain, gentle strain through the legs, but a nice symmetrical, balanced weight through the heels, through the fingers. 2 more breaths, stay with it. And we'll rise, growing up into the heart. 1 more time, nice flat back all the way down. Let yourself fold and roll up through the spine. Float the hands up overhead. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me here. We're going to sit back to our chair. Big toes nice and close together. Draw that navel back. Now, if possible, we're going to take the right toes up for 2 breaths. And step the right foot back with control to a high lunge position. So ground through the left heel, balance the weight with the right foot, keep stretching through the fingers. 1 more breath. And the right hand down. The left fingers rise. And we'll open the heart by taking the left fingers toward the side wall. Stretching to your edge. And then opening that shoulder with some big circles. Lift through the fingertips. Follow them around. Nice and smooth. 1 more rotation. And lift. The left hand comes down. The left foot steps back. We'll take the heart forward, hold in Chaturanga, 1 deep breath. And all the way down, peeling cobra or up dog. Rolling the hips back, downward dog. Taking a look forward, we'll step or float up. Inhale and rise. Allergies. Exhale. And I'm alone here. No worries. Draw the navel back and in, shoulders relaxed. Chair pose. Focused attention. Grounding onto the right foot. We'll take those left toes up 2 breaths if possible. Stepping it back. Reaching for the front wall. Nice straight line from the left heel through the fingertips. Shoulders relaxed down the back. Navel hugs in. 1 more deep breath. And spin the left hand down. Right fingers rise. And then open into your twist. Find your edge. We're going to draw 3 circles if possible. If it's too much for your shoulders, make them smaller. Or just hold in your nice stretched open rotation. 1 more time around. 3 and left hand down, right hand down, stepping right foot back, shifting the heart forward, elbows in, hover 1 breath. All the way down and peel. Cobra pose. Tucking the toes. Downward dog. Let's walk it out. Right knee bends. Left knee bends. Right knee bends. Left knee bends. Taking a look forward. Let's step or float. Inhale and rise. Exhale, hands down. Taking a breath here. Nice quiet knees, standing symmetrically. Inhale and lift. You got it. Chair pose, draw the navel in. This time we're just going to step the right foot straight back and rise. Turning the pinkies in a little bit to open the shoulders. Drop the thumbs down, Pull toward the back wall. Ground to the left foot. And fly. Woo. An airplane pose here. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Navel hugs in, stretching the body long. Interlacing the fingers behind the back. Let's pull the fingers toward the back wall, reaching back through the inner heel. And stepping back to your high lunge. Working the fingers down the back of the right leg. Grow your heart open. Brave lift to the sky. And then folding forward maybe just a little bit. Maybe you come lower. Maybe the fingers reach all the way up. Let's drop the right heel down while we're here. So we're going to shift all the way up into Warrior One in a smooth motion if possible. Feel that left heel connect with the right heel. Shoulders relax, hips square forward. Send your roots to the center of the earth and a beam of light to the sky. One more deep breath in. And exhale. The palms down. Nice and slow, step the left foot back. Find length. We'll shift into the heart, elbows in. All the way down through your transition. Rolling the hips back to downward dog and breathe. And looking forward, we'll step or float. Inhale, rise. Exhale, the hands sink down. Chair pose. Floating the hands up overhead. Stepping the left foot back and lengthen. Right knee directly over the right heel. Reach for the front wall. And this time, we rise. Turn those pinkies in slightly. Connect through the quiet right foot and heel. Balance the weight with the left foot. Turn the thumbs in. Pull the fingers toward the back wall. Ground to the right foot and shift your way up. Fire in the core as you move. If you're wiggling all over and falling in this practice, just smile, bravely playful. Come back and try. You can modify any position you need to. Reaching to the back wall through the fingers. Take that left foot down. Work the fingers down the back of the left leg. Grow to the heart and lift. We'll shift the heart forward. Inside of the right leg if possible. Fingers rise toward the sky if possible. Deep breath in. We're going to turn that left heel down to the floor. Sweep the hands all the way up. Really tough on the right leg right here. Grounding through the right heel. Balance with the left. Power through the core. Quiet shoulders. Beam of light to the stars. Brave and centered. One more deep breath in. We'll take those hands all the way down. Step it back, plank position. Just drop the knees here. We'll shift side to side. Oh, one of my favorite low back releases. Maybe your hips don't come all the way down. Just a little shift is fine as well. Move back and forth. Just one more time. We'll find center. Shift the heart forward, come all the way down. Let's take the palms down toward the floor and turn the cheek, one cheek to the top hand. Take the feet apart and let yourself go. You can close the eyes, take 3 long, deep breaths, connecting to the earth, giving in. Starting to quiet the heart after that.
We'll turn the chin forward and bring a bend to the knees. I'm going to shift side to side. Windshield wipe out the legs. And finding center. So I'm going to take a moment here, take my sweatshirt off so I can lay flat. It's a bit chilly in here, so the sweatshirt will be back for the moment. Now, down on your belly. Let's sweep the hands alongside, interlace the fingers, and again, working the shoulders closer together across the back. We'll bring the toes to touch, lifting into the heart, drawing the hands toward the back wall, lifting the feet, and breathe. So just to your edge. Maybe you're down here, maybe the elbows aren't straight, that's absolutely fine. Make sure you're not causing your low back pain. To your edge, one more deep inhale, and then gently release. Let's turn the head to the opposite side, so I'll see you in a moment. Palms down below you, cheek to hand, release. 3 deep resting breaths. Take the head forward. I'm going to now bring the hands, so I have room, to the low back. So the palms are going to be up at the low back, one on top of the other, and take the toes toward the outer edges of the mat. So this exercise was introduced to me as a quieter for the adrenals, so excellent if you're experiencing anxiety. With an inhale, we're going to sweep the right hand forward like you're going to shake hands and lift the left heel. And with an exhale, bring it back, chin to the mat. Inhale, sweeping left hand forward, right heel rises. Exhale, bring it back. Smoothly as possible. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time to each side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Let's take the hands under the shoulders. Give a press up. We'll work the knees toward the outer edges of the mat, big toes together, and sit back into our wide-legged child's pose, walking the hands forward, the brow comes down. Just noticing what's going on in each hip. I'll shift side to side. Deeply beginning to quiet. Releasing fear through a hatha practice. So that was our fiery, sunny part of practice. Now we go to our lunar, quieting part of practice. We'll rise our way up. Shift over onto one hip. Sweatshirt comes back on as we're going to be a little quieter here. I'm going to start to take the legs wide. So if you want to turn sideways on your mat or reorient towards your screen, feel free. I like to have both my heels and seat on the floor if possible. It's just more comfortable. So you want to find your edge, but make sure your knees and toes are pointed up towards the sky. We're going to bring our hands to the hip crease and give a press. And feel the even, gentle weight of the legs giving into the floor. Just starting to notice the state of the hips. we'll take the fingertips down to the floor in front. And you can stay right here. There's a lot to be gained from just scanning through the body. So noticing your toes, see if you can release any tension or holding through your toes or the pads of the feet or the ankles, the calves, the shins, any tension around or through either knee. And then the thighs. Feel a melting weight through the thighs all the way up in through the hips. So you can remain right here, just really quiet. You can start to walk your way forward. Maybe just a little tiny bit. Maybe you're coming lower, maybe down to the elbows. Maybe you want to block. You can support your brow if it comes that low. You can have 2 blocks, of course, so you don't have to come very low at all. Whatever works for your body. Wherever you find your edge, scanning back through the legs all the way to the toes. Let yourself go. Deepening into the stretch with softness. And if you need to come back out at any point, feel free. As you slow and deepen the breath, bravely releasing any holding that you don't need right now. Maybe you shift a little bit deeper for the last few breaths. And gently we rise. Let's come all the way back up, nice and slow. And just take a breath. And we'll slide the legs in. And bend the knees and take the pads of the feet down in front of the body and the hands down behind and shift the knees side to side. Let's find center. We'll do a deep hip stretch here. I know I've done this in another class or 2 online. I'm going to start taking the right shin parallel to the front of the mat. So there are a lot of stages and a lot of different options. You can have a block or blanket handy if needed. If you can, take the left heel to the right knee and fold the shins to face the front wall in front of you. There you have it. If your knee is up a little higher but you're comfortable, that can be okay. Oops, come back. If you want to slide a block under the knee, that can be more comfortable for some bodies. And if none of that's working, take the, oops, where do we want to be? Yeah, take the left heel in front of the right leg. You'll stack your legs forward and fold. If that doesn't work, just a cross-legged position. So it doesn't matter how deeply you're coming into this. It doesn't matter which configuration you have found, but wherever you are, let's take the fingers down to the floor. If you're working all the way to your edge right here, just stay as you are, maybe bow the head down toward the floor. If you can come a little bit deeper, we're going to take it really slow, walking your way down, bowing the head down, at your edge. Slow breath. 4 count inhale, 4 count exhale. I'll do one for you. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4 on your own. We'll walk the hands back up, rise. We're going to take the right heel, if possible, toward the left hip and point that right knee forward, setting up for a twist. So if your left sits bone comes up off of the floor here, take the right leg out long. If you can sit square to the floor, we'll take the pad of the left foot down. We're going to take the left hand toward the midline of the spine, take the right hand to the front of the left knee, or elbow across. Inhale and lift, find your height, maintain your height as you turn to look back. With each exhale, we'll let go of all that doesn't serve us in an imaginary rush, like you're wringing out a wet towel. Let it go. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Rush of release. Feel it all go. Sweeping back to center. Left elbow to the inner left knee. Turn to look right very gently. And back to center. Let's take the hands down behind. And uncross the legs, stretching wide. Just one good hip opener. And then other side, we're going to take the right heel toward the left knee. So maybe you can just stack right up, fold into position. Maybe this doesn't work the same way it did on the other side. So you can be with or without block. You can have the leg in front, adjusting, modifying, finding your comfortable, appropriate seat. The fingers come down. So maybe the head just bows down here. Be very mindful, listen carefully to the right hip as you come down perhaps a little bit lower to your edge. Let your head bow. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. One more good deep breath like this into the hip. We'll walk the hands back up. And shift into our twist. So taking the pad of the right foot down, maybe the left heel toward the right hip, or maybe the left leg out straight, depending on if that right sits bone comes up and if it's comfortable for you to hold. So sweeping the right hand around toward the midline of the spine, left hand to the right knee or elbow across. We'll inhale, grow tall. Exhale, turn to twist. Bringing out the eyes, look back all the way from the top of the neck down through the spine. With each exhale, imagine a rush of release, like wringing out that wet towel. Make sure you can draw a full breath in, and if not, ease out slightly from your twist. One more deep inhale. And gently unwind. Let's take the hands down behind. Shift it back. Legs come out wide. And release. Finding our way now down to the back. Hug the knees into the chest and shift side to side a little bit. I'm going to do now a nice slow core exercise just to check in with the core before we rest. So we're going to take the right leg out long, the left toes up to the sky.
blanket. Left toes up to the sky. We're going to take the left hand behind the head, the right hand up overhead, and then pulling the fingertips of the right hand up to the left shin and then peeling back down. Rise, roll down. So as smoothly as possible. So in my body, I didn't mention before, another place fear can kind of hang out is the belly, listening to your gut. So there's a good gut reaction and that chronic gut reaction. So doing some abs can be a really good way just to wring it out. Tighten, release, tighten. Release one more time. Inhale. Bring it down. And then let's reach the hands up overhead. Take the low back toward the floor nice and slow. Bring that left heel down. The right foot rising. The right hand behind the head. And we're going to roll up to touch. Fingers to shin. The second side's always a little tougher because, yes, different side, but same core. Just want to make sure you're ready to do Shavasana when the time comes. 2 more. Woo. Roll it down. Let's pull the knees in toward the body. Pull them close. Get a little rock out side to side. And feel free, as always, if you want to take any other poses or postures or motions before Shavasana, I'm going to add a little happy baby right here for my body. Feel free to pause the video if you'd like. Finish up any loose ends. And then as you're ready, we're going to find our way into Shavasana. So grab a blanket, something warmer if you need to. Make yourself cozy and comfortable. We're going to find our way down to our backs. Shavasana. So when in Shavasana, we'll take the heels out toward the outer edges of the mat, like the toes flap to the sides. Walk the shoulders down away from the ears, the palms face up. Giving in the full weight of your body to the floor. Nice quiet eyes. Nice relaxed jaw. Back of the head releases open to the floor. Full weight of your head and your mind clear. The throat and the neck clear and relaxed. Release any words you've been choking on and unable to say. Just let them go. Sides of the neck relax and release. Back of the neck open. Shoulders give in. Shoulders release the arms. Elbows release the low arms. Wrist release the palms. Fingers let go and the full weight of the arms to the floor. Feel the whole back give in. Feel the chest quiet. Let the chest and the heart lay gently open. No resistance. Settling sensation. The belly and the organs and the sides quiet. Let it go. The hips and pelvis gently relaxed. Feel their full weight drifts down to the floor. And the hips release the upper legs. The thighs quiet and the knees release the lower legs and the calves quiet. Ankles release their feet. And the feet release their toes. the whole body completely relax. Releasing all holding. And please allow yourself to remain in Shavasana for as long as you'd like today. When you come up, do so very slowly and gently. Start by deepening your breath. I'm going to sign off for today with an Om, drawing my hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. Be well, be brave.